As usual, I'm going to start by saying this might offend a few people. I'm kind of at a place right now where I don't really give a fuck if I offend anybody. If you're so sensitive to what I got to say, then fucking Carl. Jesus, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I've been dealing with doctor after doctor after doctor after doctor over the past, 2.5 years? Could be 3. I might be exaggerating a little bit with what's going on with me. My health. But God forbid if they listened to what the patient had to say and what they thought it might be. Not what it was, but what it might be. I don't know if it's always been this way or not, because I've never had anything going on with me health wise like I got right now. Maybe people in the medical profession have always been this fucking arrogant, and maybe not. I hope not. But what I've found, at least with my issue or whatever, that for some reason they take it to the extremes. You know, like what I got, and they may be right. I'm doing some MRIs over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully they find out what's going on. They always take it to extremes, and maybe it's how they're taught in college. I don't know. But when you're sitting where I'm sitting, I don't really give a shit. I don't give a fuck. I've been telling doctors for the last couple of years plus what I think's going on. And I'm not going to go into the details, but just based on what's happened to me and the only few things that have changed over the years, what I think it is. And over and over and over again, in one fashion, form, or another. Not always. I've had some people say, yeah, that might be it. But they still kind of disregard it. God forbid if the person, no matter what your element is, and sometimes it's not, completely obvious. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that people don't come down with things they're like, what the fuck's going on? Well, shit, what the hell happened? But God forbid if the person that's going through whatever they're going through always, and here we go with that same old saying, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, might have an idea I just, oh my God, they're dealing with this all the time? Even when they're not in the room with me for fucking 20 minutes? I don't want to criticize people in the medical field entirely. I think those people are, at least in the beginning, I think it changes. I really do. When they go through college and all that shit, and they get kind of a different mindset or whatever. Could be wrong. I'm just a simple dude. But God forbid if you listen to the person that was coming in your office for a precious 20 minutes. And maybe, not always, there are people out there that are out of their fucking mind. You know, I think some alien came along and probed them, and now all of a sudden they got these problems. I get that shit. But that's not most of us. All of us, not most of us, have lived in our bodies all of our lives. There's no other way. Can't be any other way. And I don't think anybody wishes the worst when they're trying to analyze something when they're ill. If anything, I think most of us want to try to hope the positive and hope, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this. But from my experience, just my experience, maybe your experience is different. That's okay. I've found and have experienced that what I say, based on everything I've gone through, every health issue, everything, that my little minuscule little mind, you little peasant, how dare you try to interdict? This is just how I fucking feel. How dare you try to say something or tell us something? For God's sake. We went through medical college. We've seen it all. I'm exaggerating a little bit. And it's not to say that I haven't seen some doctors and some medical professionals that haven't listened to what I have to say. They didn't do shit. That's the problem. I don't know what the point of this video is other than I'm saying that I think the average person, no matter what their IQ level is, we gotta fucking do the IQ test to make sure we we can relate with the big people. Another joke, in my opinion. I guess this message is more towards the people that are in the medical profession. Get off your fucking high horse. Stop pretending like you're something fucking special. You went to school. You were taught something. And in 99.9% of the situations, you didn't invent something. You just went through a process that taught you something. In that precious 20 minutes of time that you spend with your little client in your office, which isn't even an office anymore, it's online. God forbid if we had to drive somewhere and actually have them look at you. Suppress your ego. Yeah, maybe you got straight A's. Maybe you did really good. Maybe you were on the dean's list or whatever. All that fucking bullshit. In that precious little 20 minutes that you're spending with that person that's coming through the door, insurance companies paying you buku bucks, or at least whoever you're working for. But 90% of the time, they're paying some premium to some insurance company that's paying you. Stop. Get your fucking ego out of the way. That somehow I went into classes and I listened to professors and I did exams and I did all this special stuff, and I'm fucking knocking elbows with all these super intelligent people out there. Listen to the person that's sitting in front of you at that very fucking second, that fucking very moment, and what they're saying. Could they be wrong? Certainly. I could be. With what's going on with me. Where I'm at right now, I think it's so patently obvious what's going on, because I know my circumstances over the past, at least the past 4 or 5 years. But it seems like a mystery to them. So, as usual, I never know what the fuck I'm going to talk about when I do these videos. Not to the average person, because I think the average person that's been through anything, substantial medically, probably understands exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm talking more, I think, to the people that are either in the medical field, thinking about getting in the medical field, when that person walks through the door for those precious 20 minutes, that office visit, that the patient is so, a little bit of anxiety, I get to talk to a doctor or a nurse practitioner or whatever. You're like, oh, finally I got somebody, that's smarter than my dumb ass. For anybody getting into that field, I'm not saying don't think. I'm not saying don't put the pieces of the puzzle together to what you're hearing. Because there's just some insane people out there, I'm sure, that walk through the doors of a doctor's office. I'm sure. But just slow down just a little bit and listen to them, and maybe even what they might think is going on, based on the fact that they live in their body, once again, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And that maybe, as ridiculous as it might sound, throughout your 4-year, 6-year, 8-year, 10-year education or and beyond, that maybe they actually might have an idea of what the hell's going on. Am I bitter? Yeah. Because I've seen doctor after doctor after doctor after doctor. Every time I tell them I think this is what it is, with some exceptions, they move on to something else. And I'm not saying I'm right. I don't know. Got a lot of tests coming up, a lot of things coming up. I hope it's not worse than what I think it is. But it could be. Who knows? And maybe in the end, I look like the dumbass. But I don't think so. We'll see. Love y'all. Bye.